Reef DVM's coming at you with the perfect gift for the kids to make for teachers and friends and family. Make them a St. Nicholas candy craft on a sled. These things are made all the time, folks, but we're kind of doing a little bigger version. These are the supplies that you need. Get some chocolate Santas, get a bunch of Hershey Kisses, get some money out that you want to give them as a nice gift, get some candy canes, and a bunch of string is helpful. I'm going to go black and white. You certainly can go red and green. Get a couple hot glue guns out and a bunch of hot glue, because kids like to go through the hot glue, which is perfectly fine. And these things are kind of fun to make, even for the adults. You got to start with, probably something that you want to use for more of a, monetary value, at least if you're giving it to like a relative or a teacher or something. So we're going to fold up a $10 bill both ways, half in both ways, just to put lines through it. And then we're going to show you how to just turn this into a box. And this is not a real origami lesson. We're not the best at this, but we're going to do the best we can. So once we've kind of got our score lines in it for the middle, we're going to use that to fold the edges in. Again, when you're working with this, you can do this with a $100 bill, a $20 bill, a $10 bill. What difference does it make? Pick the money you want. For the gifts that we're going to make, we're actually going to use probably 20s. But I got to get to the bank and get those yet. So we'll practice here on the 10. I speak from experience, and when you're folding it here in the middle and trying to make this X in the middle so that you can use it here in the future, it really helps to have a bill that's crisp with no other fold marks in it. It makes this process easier, because as we're putting this X in the middle, if you're using a bill that's been folded a bunch of times, it's kind of hard to see this. And then you take the two edges of the X and fold it in half here towards the center. And that's kind of an important fold, because now what we're going to do is open it up on the two V'd wings and then fold it down on that line we just made. And this kind of creates the box. We're going to take these two flaps and fold them backwards now. And then we'll basically do the same thing for the other side. And when we open it up, we'll have a small box for his sleigh. And what's neat about this is if you put just a couple daps of hot glue on it, you can get this off the package without damaging the bill, and the bill is still usable. So then we fold it back again. Now we're going to do the same thing on the other side. We're going to put this line in just so we can see it. We're going to open it up, and then we're going to kind of open up these V's here. And then we're going to fold it flat down again. And by the way, there's instructions online how to do this. There's other people's YouTube videos. Again, this is not a video on origami. This is a video on making the candy cane sled and using a monetary value. Now, if you don't want to use a monetary value, that's fine. Just stack up a bunch of candy on the back of this thing and go with that too. But I'd like the gift to be worth, I think for teachers, probably a good $30, maybe 40. I think it's worth it. Obviously, it's a relative. You can pick whatever you think the relative is worth. We're going to take these edges here on the back side and just kind of put a crimp on them, and then tuck them into each other, and then you've got the box. Like I said, though, if you don't want a monetary value, you can certainly skip this step. So take these two flaps. One's a little bigger than the other. Just by coincidence, it always happens. You never make them exactly the same size. Tuck them into each other, and you got a nice little, package box that can sit on the back of the sleigh and act like the gift holding box. And again, they can take it apart and use the money. So we're going to do this. And again, since we're doing this for teachers, I'm going to put a 20 in here with the value of the candy. It'll probably give it a value of about $30. That string, tie a knot in the end of the string with the white and the black. And again, if you want to use red and green, folks, or pink and purple, I don't care. Use whatever colors you want. Then just lightly fold them over each other so you get some twists in it. Don't twist it, because it'll just untwist. You know what I mean? Don't spin it in your fingers. So just, throw the string over each other. You can use a yarn if you want. It would just be thicker. I find hot glue and yarn don't agree with me, so I'm just using some, thin cotton string that's around. And I'm going to tie the knot on the other end just so it doesn't open up. And then we'll come back and use this for his reins later for St. Nick when he's on the sleigh. The other thing that we want to do is get something to work on that's safe for the kids. I'm just going to use an old 2x4, and I'm going to have Tabitha start with a box of chocolates. And notice she's working with the back side of the box of chocolates. I'll help her position the sled runners, because it's a little difficult for her. She's going to get the hot glue going, and try not to touch the tip of the hot glue gun to the plastic of your candy box. This is a bunch of dark and milk chocolates from Russell Stover, and it's got a plastic wrap around it. The hot glue will bind to that plastic, but try not to hit it with the hot glue gun itself because you don't want to melt your plastic. So she's going to put a healthy blob of glue on here, and she gets better the more of these she does. And my kids, we've got 6 kids, so there's going to be a bunch of gifts. So I just glue that on there and then let it sit. Notice the block of wood helps keep it elevated too, so that the candy cane sits nice and flush. Now you can use a real candy cane for this too, folks. They make great big giant candy canes. You can use little candy canes, and instead of a box of chocolate, you could use a little Hershey's Kiss, for the sled bottom. But on the farm, I kind of like to go big or go home. My kids are in a private school, and a lot of private schools, regardless of their religious base, just don't pay their teachers a ton. And I think it's still nice to give them a gift. And this Catholic school that we go to allows them to. So we're getting the teachers a gift, and this is how we're going to do it. So here she's got the other runner on now. We're going to plop this sucker on there, and then there'll be a box of Russell Stover chocolates with then 2 sled runners full of M&Ms. And of course, why not? Red and green. I mean, you can pick whatever type you'd like. Now, we're going to let this dry for a bit, folks. This particular section, it's got a lot of thick hot glue at the bottom, and it really does need to dry. And if you want a little bit more stability, you can go down the edges of those candy canes and glue them on a little bit more with more hot glue. But we're going to leave those kind of out of the way, and she's going to start building the back of the sled. Now, if you don't want to use money, you can just stack a bunch of candy. I'm going to stack some candy to make the sled look bigger, and then I'm going to put the money on top. You'll see what I mean here. So she's going to take her candy bars, and she's picked out 4 Mr. Good bars. She kind of likes those, and she's going to stack 2 on 2. So she's going to glue the seams together, and then once she's got the seams together, she's going to glue 2 on top of each other, and that's going to be the base for which we're going to put the monetary box on it. And then she's decided she'd like to fill the box with candy. Now in a COVID year like this, obviously these all need to be wrapped. So can't just dump a bunch of open candy in the back of the sled. I'd sure like to, but it's probably not going to fly as much as people would like. So anyway, she's going to let these 2 bars kind of glue together in the seam. She's going to load up some more hot glue here. You are going to go through some sticks of hot glue with kids, folks. They do go through it. And then she's gonna put some glue on each of the top of the bars, and then she's gonna glue the bars down. Okay, she's getting them the right directions the way she wants. She's trying to make it look pretty. Have your kids work in the shop, folks. Have them work on your tables. Get your kids active on these projects. I mean, anybody can go to the store and buy a gift for a teacher in a gift bag that's pre-made, but it doesn't always have the same love as this. You got our aunt or uncle that likes candy, and it's got everything already. I mean, they've been in their house for 30 years. They've got all the toys, and you don't know what to get them. Have your kids build them something like this. They'll really enjoy it. I guarantee it. She's going to glue this last seam here. And this thing will stay together real nice. And all the candy is completely usable. Nothing's harmed with any of the candy. So there you go. She's got the kind of the base for the gift bag, so to speak. We're going to put the monetary piece. Now she's going to make what she's going to put in that together. And again, in a different year, we might dump a bunch of Skittles in the back of the sled or something else. But we're going to keep using candy bars because they're all wrapped up. And she's kind of picking her order here as to what she wants to do. She's going to put probably a Hershey's here at the bottom. And then I can't remember which one she puts on top here, but looks like she's going with the crackle. And she's just gluing them together is all she's doing, folks. She's making a nice stack. That way they sit in there good. They ride well when she takes it to school for her teacher. I think she'll be real pleased with this. And I'm pleased to see she's taking her time and putting some effort into it, because this is the fun stuff you need to do with your kids during the Advent season. Have them put together a gingerbread house. Have them make a few ornaments for the tree each year. That way you've got an ornament each year made by their hands with their abilities, and you can look back and laugh and smile and enjoy those little moments in life. All right, so she's got the candy block made here for inside the monetary sleigh, and now it's kind of time to put things together some more. So she's going to grab her sleigh, and as you can see, the box is up now. And she's going to mount to the back of her sleigh, her Mr. Goodbars here. So you're going to put some hot glue on the back side of those. And she gets some more hot glue in the gun again. I would say probably any kid, over the age of 6 can easily do these. Obviously under 6 can do them. They're just going to need a little bit more parental help. Here in this case, obviously my wife helped us fold the money. I helped out with some string, but the rest of it's kind of all on their end. Perfect. We're going to get 2 little daps. Don't put this thing down with a lot of hot glue, folks. It makes it really hard to get the money out of it. You just want 2 little tiny daps so that they can easily get it off and still enjoy their money. In this case, the $20 bill that we made it out of. There's the back of the sleigh, folks. Just going to press that down and just hold it till it's cool for a second. There, see? And that's how we raised it up a bit. And then her candy block, she'll fit in there like that. And all we need now is a Santa, and get Mr. Nick there in the sleigh with a bunch of reins, and he'll be ready to deliver. Finding larger chocolate Santas, not tough this time of year. This happens to be a hollow one, so again, don't let the gun touch it. Just get the hot glue dripped on it. Once Santa's in place, you can go around the base of Santa with more hot glue if you want him more stable. But again, she's kind of just trial fitting where she wants him. And then she's going to put St. Nick on there and just kind of glue him down. So she's going to blop some hot glue on the bottom of St. Nick. You have to be a little careful, obviously delivering these to schools. You don't want to rip him off his foil base. She's going to plop him down on there. And again, if you want him on there stronger, go right around that green edge where he meets the Russell Stover candy box and just hot glue him down. This daughter is 11 years old and she'll get it to school perfectly fine the way it is. I'm just gonna, while it's a little bit on the warm side yet and the glue is drying, I'm gonna step in here and see if I can help her position to put the reins on for the sleigh. She'll help me hold it a little bit. I'm just going to take the candy out so it doesn't dump. And she'll hang on to St. Nick so I don't tear the plastic or anything. And I'm just going to kind of glue the reins right to where his hands are on the picture here. So a little blob of hot glue. I'll stick the rein in it right in the middle of the string. And a little bit more hot glue. And then we're going to glue this to those front round candy canes. Just takes a little bit of time for that hot glue to set up. And I think, again, folks, the whole value of this project with a $20 bill is about $30. Oh, we're going to try and get those reins on here. I think it's dry enough, yep. We'll try and glue them to the underside of this thing here. So we'll gonna have to tip them at an angle and we'll get it done. And again, the more the glue dries, the stronger it gets, folks. So if you take your time, it'll go on pretty easy. Just going to put some glue on the candy cane first. And then I'm going to put the rein on, and then I'll probably put another blop over the top once I get it squished into that pile of glue. Any extra string, once it's dry, just take a scissors and cut it off for the kid. We'll do one side, then we'll flip it over and get the other side done here. I'm going to cut off that string there. Make sure it's nice and dry. And then basically this Santa is ready to rock and roll. So she's going to get the other side tipped up here, and she'll get her booty in the sleigh for St. Nicholas here to deliver. Got them the way she wants it there. How nice this thing looks. Just looks really nice. It's cute, it's fun, it's easy to make. Now I've got to have my kids make one for each teacher. She wants it going that way. That's fine. There's the finished St. Nick candy craft, folks. Now you just make as many of these as you have kids and teachers that you need to give them to, or parents or relatives. I got my kids to work here. Each one got theirs done. Again, a little bit larger farm family here, and we love that. That's part of the farmstead and homestead, is raising things, including our children. So here we go. We got 7 of these all made. They all look just a tad different, but they're all the same, depending upon which kid made them. And they look really pretty, folks. I'd highly recommend a craft project like this. People really do appreciate them. And hey, let's be honest. Chocolate is a wonderful thing to get at Christmas. It's always used. We certainly appreciate you following our channel, folks. We do crafts like this. We have our fish tanks. We put a lot of videos on our farm animals, our building, and how we do things here on the farm and the homestead. We even have our cooking recipes. Please like and subscribe and follow us on YouTube. We've got some other great channels that we're on too, including Facebook and Instagram and MeWe and a bunch of others. And we'll put them in the comments and links if you want to follow us there too, because this is how we support our farm, folks. Please enjoy. Have a safe and happy Advent, folks, and I wish everybody out there a Merry Christmas.